them showed up, it's good. This is the 10th annual Commffest Community Film and Arts Festival. 10 wonderful years. This year there are 80 films, 10 artists, and the first group has a film that is appearing tomorrow night at the Rainbow Theatre just down the road at 5:45. It's rather an extraordinary story. And it began 23 years ago as Nelson Mandela was getting out of prison, and Sharon decided that they would do something to help this movement, to get people to come together. They ended up with 500 young men and women, black and white, and they took a train. It was called the Peace Train, and it went for 2 weeks, and they were threatened, and they will blow up the train, but they kept on going. 23 years later is where we are now. Fortunately, at the very beginning, someone started documenting what was happening with this group, and they kept all the archival footage, and they turned it into this documentary you can see tomorrow night, which originally premiered in Durban this year, in July. And the 500 original people were there, most of them with their grandmothers and their aunts and their uncles and their children. It was an extraordinary thing. They started sending this film out. They have been accepted at 18 film festivals. They then premiered in Washington, D.C., where they won Best Documentary, Best Director, and Best Soundtrack. This is the soundtrack that's available for sale in the lobby, When Voices Meet. The film itself is called When Voices Meet, One Divided Country, One United Choir, One Courageous Journey. Please welcome 3 extraordinary women, Sharon, Wendy, and No Clap Clap.
Time is right to walk together into the lights. It's time for changing and rearranging. We've got to sing together, black and white. The time.
And now, this is one of the first black groups that ever got to record with Columbia Records. They were together for 4 years. They had some extraordinary hits. They were extremely well known and riding it all, and then Crack of Dawn decided 4 years later they were going to disband. And that was back in the 80s when I was doing City Pulse News. So they got back together about 3 years ago. And you might know a couple of their hits. Have you heard of these two? It's All Right, Keep the Faith. And there's an interesting story because Messenger, who is a Juno Award-winning fabulous group, part of them came from Crack of Dawn. So these are some extraordinarily talented musicians. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Crack of Dawn.